driver to pick up the car, and I was supposed to go along representing the Workers' Council, and I called my wife in the office. Honey, I didn't say honey, I said in Hungarian, of course, come and meet us at the gate, don't say anything to anybody, we are leaving. So she said goodbye to my sister, and we got on the bus, and a month and a half, 6 weeks later, we ended up in the United States on New Year's Day, 1957.
So when you first left, you went to the border. You were still in Hungary.
Yeah.
How did you get across the border itself? Because I know you spent the night and you had to wave it out for a couple other people.
Yeah.
Mom, I know you like telling that part.
There was about 80 of us at this poor family at the corner, and they gave us room to stay overnight. So 2 o'clock in the morning, they wake us up. We are going to cross the border. So we started to walk November 20th, very cold. I could see my shadow as we were walking in that frozen field. And we were just walking and walking and walking until we reached a creek. And there was an old little boat. We had to cross that river. So they would put about 5, 6 of us in that little boat, push us over to the other side. We made it. They pushed the boat back, another 6 people, and that's the way we managed, about 80 of us. But the Austrians were so good, said they waited for us there. So they took us to a school, an empty school, just like Santos. They got some straws. They put us up for a couple of days, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2 days.
In a gymnasium. And somehow we got help, people's help. The whole world was helping us. And then they took us to Linz, right, in Austria.
Was that in Weir the first time?
Ried.
Was it
Ried?
Ried.
Ried?
R-E-I-D, yeah. But we didn't speak German.
And from there, I hitchhiked to Ried, to the American consulate, to see what was going on. And
how come the Americans weren't helping?
No, not so much. First, get out. Let's get to the United States. A few of us youngsters, we were convinced that if we could only explain to the American government what is going on, they are going to help us and they will chase the Russians out. And boy, were we naive. That's why we decided to come to the United States, because I mean, the United States, they couldn't tolerate what the Russians were doing, and we just have to tell Eisenhower what is going on. And
tell us about, because I know a bunch of you guys walked to the consulate. What happened when you got to the consulate and they gave you money? What happened?
They didn't want us to hitchhike back, so they gave us some money. And there were 4 of us, and 3 of them took the train, used the money, and I stopped at the gas station, and I asked the gas station operator if one of the customers goes our way, ask them if they would take me. So instead of hitchhiking, I asked, and the lady picked me up, and she didn't come all the way to Ried, to the camp, but I had to travel about another 10, 15 miles on train, so she gave me money again. So then I took the train, but in the meantime I stopped and I did some shopping. I got oranges and banana and a cookie and I don't know what. So I took it back to the camp, and there were some 20 of us in the room, and we had a feast there.
What were you eating before he got there?
Smelly fish.
Fish
he
and
did,
cheese.
He did, I didn't.
Yeah.
And
So in the prison, I learned that whatever you have, whatever is edible, you eat it. So in the room, I was the only one who ate that cheese. The Americans sent the cheese which stinks, or it was smelly, and I didn't like it, but I closed my nose, and I was the only one who wasn't hungry, who was well fed in the whole room. Everybody gave me their cheese.
All right, so then I think you went from there and you went to Bremerhaven.
Salzburg first, and from Salzburg we took a train ride all day, all night, a 24-hour train ride to Bremerhaven, and then we boarded the ship. There were over 3,000 refugees. It was an old military transport ship, and other than the crew, and there were some 20, 25 Americans who came over, civilians, to cooks and others and translators to take care of us, and the rest was refugees.
What date was that?
That was December 20th or 19th, and since it was a military ship, the military rules applied. The male and female, they couldn't mix. The girls or women were given the officers' quarters, and we were in the rest of the ship. And my bunk was just where the waves hit the ship in the front, and my bunk went up and down 6, 7 feet with the waves. And one night, the girls in the room, they decided that they will let the guys spend the night with them. So in the middle of the night, there was a raid. And somehow they found out that the guys weren't in their bunks, and they figured out they must be there, so there was a raid. And her bunk was on the bottom, and I was inside. So they chased everybody out. In the morning, we wake up. I was the only guy in the room. They didn't see me. And we had to make dates, right, and we are going to meet at 4 o'clock here and here. So we met, we went there and meet, but we were separated. And the journey was, it was December, the first part of the year, to cross the Atlantic. But we made it. We got to New York City on New Year's Day.
But we had nice Christmas celebrations.
Nice Christmas, and that's where we saw the first black guys, and my wife especially enjoyed. There was one black guy came around, and there was banging a pot, and many.
Telling everybody to go.
Let's go and eat. And
I have never seen a colored person in my whole lifetime. I figured it must be in the history book. So we get on the ship and we see this big mouth. By now they are fine. And I could just watch them. How can they be built like that, and the color? But.
And what happened the first day you guys started off and you had to go back? Remember why was that?
There was another ship sinking and sent out SOS signs, and so we had to turn around. And but by the time somebody else picked them up, so we turned around again.
So you get here January 157. What did you have with you? And we'll probably wrap it up with the next 5-10 minutes about what did you have with you, and
whatever you see, one pocketbook, one clothes.
We left to work in the morning, and whatever we had a lunch pail, and that's about it. And that's what we had. And we got to Camp Kilmer, which was an old military base in New Jersey, and that's where we got more clothes. They had a room full of a pile of shoes, a pile of men's clothes, a pile of children's clothes, women's clothes, and we went in there and we picked what we thought we could use, and that was how we started out. And then once our papers, we were given the white card, which was for refugees, we were free to leave. And one day I saw a sign, 3 buses going to leave to Albany, to St. Rose College, and you could sign up. And that was the first opportunity to get out of camp. So we signed up, and we didn't know where the hell Albany is, or what is St. Rose College, or anywhere but here. So that was the first chance, and we came, and we ended up here at St. Rose College with 3 busloads of people.
What was the trip up? I know.
Oh,
what happened on the thruway?
Favorite.
Mom, tell us about the thruway.
But let me tell you, we arrived in this country. I didn't speak a word of English. So I felt dumb, I felt stupid, I felt belittled, I felt out of contest. So I was really bad. But I remember in Camp Kilmer, one black lady had a table. She was teaching us English. And she had all this every day. I remember carrot, celery. So I learned a few words then, you know, knife and fork. So no, my big story is when at Camp Kilmer, we each got $2.50. So we get on the bus coming up to Albany. Albany could have been 6,000 miles. We didn't know where Albany was. But we stop at the rest area. My husband gets into the store and buys candy for $1 whole. So we had only $4 left. So, but that's good, honey.
So you've been dealing with the money ever since, right? You took the rest?
And I take care of the money ever since. So now we have the money, more than $5. But let me tell you, we arrived in Sandor's College, and people were, Sandor's College advertised who would like to sponsor these poor Hungarian refugees. So everybody left already but us. A farmer, a chicken farmer was going to take us. And you know what? I said, no, I am not going. I was always very proud of being on the intellectual side or whatever the story would be. Aristocrat, right. Mm-hmm. Well, I was a little princess back home, let me tell you. And I said, I'm not going. And we didn't. And somebody felt sorry for us, so he called his friend, and we ended up in Scotia. So that's my life story. But actually, it's not our life story.
No, you still got a lot after that. But anyway, in Scotia, well, so you got to St. Rose middle of the night, and then they take you to Scotia. You got jobs, right?
No,
yeah.
I mean, well, not right away, but
within the couple of weeks, we got a job at a dry cleaner.
It was more than a couple of weeks because we got our first paycheck and we got a little apartment.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
We
and
got,
where'd
we
you
got
go to
a
school?
job.
I know you went to school.
And I got a so-called presidential scholarship, free tuition at Siena, and in the summer and also before and after work, I worked at a bakery, for example. I started to work at 4 a.m. and I was in class by 8, and after that I worked again after school. And I graduated in 1960, and I went to NYU. At first I worked as a social worker at Burfield Farm for Boys, which is just on the Massachusetts border. And then at NYU I got my master's, and she continued to work. And of course we also had the kids, and I worked in the summer. And at NYU I worked as a building superintendent. And eventually I got my master's degree, and one day told my boss, I deserve a raise. I'm the only guy putting out the garbage every morning with a master's degree. And he laughed, and but we managed, and finally I got all the coursework completed for the PhD, only the dissertation, and I got a job out in Bridgeport at Bridgeport University, and from there I came up to this area where we started life out. I got a job at Hudson Valley through one of my old professors, Dr. Plager, and I have been at Hudson Valley for some 26 years, and the kids were actually, you were still born in New York. And Peter was born here at St. Peter, or no, he was born at Albany Med. And right now we have 7 children and 18 grandchildren. And that's our story.
So to wrap it all up then, you ended up here in 1957, right? Alex was born in 58, November. Susan in January 60. Marianne, March of 61, Tommy, November 62, me, December 63, Peter, March 68, and George, April 71, right? 7 kids. So you worked at Hudson Valley for all those years, and then, what do you got, 18 grandchildren now? Mm-hmm. A couple pieces of property. And now you can actually go back to Hungary, but that's the story for a different day, about how you can go back.
Now he went back 22 times already.
22.
He wasn't able to go home for 32 years. All of a sudden, the borders opened, and he went back 22 times.
All right. Okay. Well, I think that about does it. I'd like to thank everybody for coming. I'd like to thank the staff at St. Rose. You know, without them, we couldn't do it. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed the tape. And we'll see you guys whenever. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.
All my old family photographs are gathering dust in a box. No one ever looks at them. What's Happening Productions did a beautiful job transferring my old family home movies to DVD and upgraded all my old VHS tapes to DVD. Now What's Happening Productions has an affordable way to save all of my old family photos to these CDs. And all my old photos are in my computer too. Stop in to What's Happening Productions with all your old photos and they will transfer them to CDs.
Memories, that's what we do.
With over 20 years of experience, from photography, video, and DJ of your special occasion to promotional and commercial videos, What's Happening Productions is a symbol of excellence. With video duplication and transfer capabilities in-house, What's Happening Productions can meet all your video needs. Turn your photos into a gift with What's Happening Productions photo to video transfer. And now preserve all your memories on DVD. Call What's Happening Productions at 355-5888.
Preserve memories of the past by transferring photos or films to videotape at What's Happening Productions. What's Happening Productions on Route 20 in Guilderland is also the area's leading wedding video, photography, and DJ service. In fact, when planning any special event for your family or business, depend on What's Happening Productions. Call us for video duplication from all types of videotape, promotional, and training videos. Whether it's old memories or new, call What's Happening Productions at 355-5888.
My husband gave me the greatest gift. He collected up all our videotapes and brought them to What's Happening Productions. They turned them into these DVDs. All our family videos, camcorder tapes, even our wedding video. We can finally watch them again, even in the car. The guys at What's Happening Productions made it simple. They've been doing this kind of stuff for 25 years. Get your videos converted to DVDs at What's Happening Productions. You'll be a hero.
Now you can have your old 8mm and 16mm home movies transferred to videotape by What's Happening Video Productions. Throw away the old projector and screen because now you can watch your old home movies on your own TV set. Simply pop the tape in your VCR and watch those precious memories unfold again and again. Call What's Happening Productions, the video production company, 355-5888, or find us fast on the 9X Yellow Pages. Have your old 8 and 16mm home movies transferred to videotape. Called What's Happening Productions, 355-5888, or find us fast on the 9X Yellow Pages. Have your home movies transferred to videotape and enjoy watching them again and again. Call What's Happening Productions, 355-5888.